This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I covered this last year, this satanic black mass that occurs every year in Mexico. They had the mass again last night, which included animal sacrifice, the sacrificing of goats and cats and other animals. It's absolutely an abomination. Where is PETA? Where are any of these organizations to go down there and rescue these animals? When it comes to Satanism, nobody seems to care. They can get away with whatever they want. But these rituals are an absolute embarrassment. And the fact that they're allowed to occur on land around the world without anybody caring, thinking that it's no big deal, yet they kill chickens, they kill all sorts of animals, and you know behind the scenes that they're committing human sacrifice. Because let's be realistic. They're not going to do that out in the middle of public, okay? And and put themselves in this position to be arrested for murder. So we know they do those things underground and in caves out in the woods, not in the public eye. But even the fact that they are so bold to perform these animal sacrifice rituals in public is amazing to me, that nobody goes crazy about this stuff, especially we live in a world where people really do love and care about animals. I know I do, and I know a lot of people listening to this channel do. And people who are abusive to animals usually are castrated in this society, but not in this case. So this black mass occurred once again in Mexico, and you'll see a lot of the same symbols that I point out as Illuminati satanic symbols, the same ones that we see in these music videos. So when people message me and say Beyonce and Drake and all these lowlifes in Hollywood and the music business aren't Satanists, they're not in the Illuminati. You can actually see the pentagram, the all-seeing eye, the pyramid, all these symbols right there involved in the middle of this black mass ritual where they're killing animals and drinking their blood. So you tell me, I guess it's just a coincidence, right? Give me a break. Let's take a look at some of the embarrassing moments from this mass. You can see a woman here. She's carrying some type of cup with rocks in it, and the purpose of this is to call forth the devil. That is what they are attempting to do. You can see the gigantic ritual circle, which is pretty common. It's a common theme, obviously, in black magic. They'll have somebody inside the circle and then others outside the circle as they attempt to summon these demons. The circle is some type of protection for these freaks. You can see the candles around it and the pentagram on the inside. You can see this man, I don't know what he's wearing. I guess he's trying to channel his inner parrot or parakeet, as he's got some weird garb on. His mom and dad must be real proud. You can see the fire rituals as well. Usually the fire obviously is always involved with these rituals where they try to summon Satan, just like the Beltane ritual, which will be coming up on May 1st, where these witches and Satanists claim that they're just having a good time. It has nothing to do with the devil, of course. You can even see something that appears to be an all-seeing eye peeking out of a backdrop. You could see the man actually sacrificing an animal here. The goat, it appears to be. I don't want to show graphic pictures because nobody needs to sit through and see it. But they actually have it videotaped live. It's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. It's appalling. It makes you really just sick to your stomach and angry and upset. As they drain the blood out of these animals, they pour them into cups. And you can see this guy here, who hasn't groomed himself in quite some time. Looks like he actually might be American, not Mexican, who's down there for this ritual, drinking the blood. I mean, this guy is just, look at these people. I mean, what do people think that they're actually doing here? They're condoning this? People condone this behavior. They say, well, let them do what they want. They're just murdered a goat and are drinking its blood. Anybody got a problem with this other than me? I mean, look at this scumbag. Drinking the blood out of he probably crossed the border just so he could be involved in this ritual. And of course, we see this guy who was there last year in the video I did. This guy, I guess, just can't get enough. He's got some type of dead animal draped over his shoulder as he's talking about his, the importance of his ritual here. He's enjoying the attention he's getting before he heads back to work scrubbing toilets. Here's some more people wearing, all these satanic garbs. You see the animals on their body, you see them covering themselves in blood, drinking the blood, and then attempting to summon Satan through the fire. You even see them dumping the blood of some type of animal. It might be a cat here on top of a satanic statue. You could see the guy right there with the pentagram on his shirt and the all-seeing eye. You see how these symbols, people think that these symbols are a giant joke. Well, does this ritual look like a joke? I mean, they're actually murdering animals. And some people go, well, what's the big deal? Well, they also murder human beings. I mean, what kind of a human being murders an animal, for starters, and then drinks its blood, okay? Are these normal human beings? And then you see these symbols in Kesha videos, in Beyonce videos, and Jay-Z videos. What do you think? This is a coincidence that the pentagram's all over the place? Kesha's standing in front of it. The all-seeing eyes everywhere. Drake, Kanye, you name these scumbags. These are all representative of Satanism and the occult. Doesn't matter. It's universal language, okay, for them. Doesn't matter if it's Mexico. Doesn't matter if it's Iraq. It doesn't matter if it's America. It doesn't matter if it's Timbuktu. These symbols are universal in the occult and in Satanism. And you see more of these people during this video just drinking this blood, drinking it like it's no big deal. And people look at it and they go, oh, that's interesting. That's weird. Here's the article. I'll read some of what occurred at this mass because it's not a big deal to people. They don't think, witchcraft and Satanism is dangerous. They think it's tradition. I've heard some imbeciles out there who are trying to cover things like Pizzagate and these other, pedo rings. They have no idea about Satanism, no idea about the cult. They think these are Aztec-like rituals. That's how clueless these people are, who have no idea that this goes back to Baal worship. And this has all been foretold to us in Scripture. And these people continue to do this and continue to get away with it. And now they can even do it in plain sight. It says there's something about the thick tropical air and swirling mists over the nearby Sierra de la Tosas Mountains. I don't know if I said that right, but let's just pretend I did. They make it easy to believe you found a porthole to another dimension in Catemaco. I'm not going to pretend like I'm pronouncing these places right, so let's just continue. Witchcraft traditions combining medieval Spanish and West African voodoo practices date back centuries in the picturesque town, now considered the spiritual home of Mexico's shaman. A local brujo first decided to host a witchcraft convention in the area in 1970, and these days hundreds of practitioners, healers, and interested onlookers head to the ceremony each March. The focus is a kind of communal spiritual detox held at witching hour on nearby Cerro Mano Blanco, designed to wash away the negative energies of the previous year. So you even see in New Age, because New Age is as satanic as it gets. A lot of people actually end up waking up because they go from Christianity, then they get into this New Age Christianity, and they realize what they're doing is really satanic. When there's, the energy, the negative energy, blah, 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 blah. Right, this is all part of the same thing. New Ageism is an indoctrination into Satanism. That's what it is. That's how they grab Christians and they fall into the deception of New Age. And then they end up, doing these satanic rituals. They don't even realize what they're doing. But these people are going to claim that they're healers, that they're getting rid of the negative energies. And people go, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, they're also cutting off a goat's head and killing cats and drinking their blood like the freak shows that they are. It says visitors seek consultations on a whole host of spiritual matters at the shaman tents that surround the main stage before heading into town for more physical delights in the restaurants and bars. Nestled beside a large lagoon home to several interesting islands, Catemaco is also a great spot for nature lovers. Head for the hills for a hike or relax in mineral mud in the rainforest. That's the article on what happened here. You can see the video, which I'll attach below, which Rupley TV posted. This was passed along to me by a friend of mine who's a subscriber to the channel named Chris. I want to thank him for that. This is the kind of stuff that gets your blood pressure through the roof. It's the same thing, though. This is yearly. And last year, this became very public. And a lot of people, such as myself and other Christians out there who have channels, talked about this and warned people and said, listen, something needs to be done about this. This needs to be stopped. These rituals need to be stopped, but they don't get stopped. But we can't even have Bibles out. You can't have a Bible quote on your desk at work. We have people getting discharged from the military for having Bible quotes on their desks. That these people can be out in public, out in the open, summoning Satan and doing these rituals because everybody thinks it's a fairy tale. Then they're murdering animals and drinking their blood, and people are just shrugging their shoulders. It's absolutely unbelievable. And this is just going to grow. We're going to see more and more of this in the spotlight, in the mainstream. This is Mexico. We saw a black mass in Oklahoma City. We see the Satanists getting into the schools now. This is what they practice. This is what they do. The Satanists in America claim that they're atheists and people fall for it. Then you get these people who are witches and voodoo doctors and Satanists. You see all the same symbols. These people are all part of the same circles. There's different denominations. There's different covens. There's different cults, but the core of it's all the same. They do these rituals to summon demons and deities, to attempt to summon Satan. They do animal sacrifice and human sacrifice. That's all common in these covens. And you know what the most common thing is, other than human and animal sacrifice, is pedophilia and child abuse. Crawley teaches that and talks about that. So if these people are performing witchcraft, and we see Crawley still being mentioned in the mainstream, we see Jimmy Page buying his home. Oh yeah, all this stuff isn't a coincidence. And he talks about the best way to enhance black magic is through sexual rituals, preferably with young boys. Yet they still get away with this stuff. And that's why I talked about how these pedo rings, they're going to bring these people like Ashton Kutcher out into the mainstream to talk about this stuff, because they're going to point it away from Satanism. It's going to be about perversion. Oh, there's some perverts, there's some weirdos, there's some low-level people out there who need to make money. And attention, again, will be led away from Zionism, it'll be led away from Crawley's teachings, it'll be led away from Satanism. They're all one and the same. And it'll be put on people out there who are just sickos who are looking to make a coin. That's what it's going to turn into. But this is another just blatantly obvious demonstration of Satanism growing rapidly in our society. And there's been a few satanic ritual murders this week as well. Illegal immigrants, gang members, drugged and raped a 14-year-old Houston girl and murdered another to appease an insulted demon inside of their satanic shrine in their apartment down in Houston. I mean, this is going on around the world. This isn't going to make the mainstream. This stuff. You're going to have to look and search to find this stuff, because they're not going to address this. They want to continue to give the illusion that this isn't real and that these practices aren't performed, because it's the elites, it's our politicians, it's the heads of corporations, actors, Hollywood, musicians. They're the ones practicing this stuff. People in high positions of power are the ones doing this. So they're not going to get this out in the open. It's hard to hide it sometimes when you have people like this who are low-level immigrants who are practicing these rituals. They're going to get arrested. They can't protect everybody. They'll protect their high-level elite buddies, but they can't protect these guys. They're not going to come out of the woodwork and go, oh, let's cover this up. A girl was murdered. So Satanism is on the rise around the world. It is absolutely disheartening to see the stuff that they get away with. It makes my blood boil. I'm sure it makes your blood boil. But remember, God is in control here, and these people have already lost. But what's important to do is not only to make sure that you're right with God, that you're right in reading Scripture and in the Word, but to make sure that we are able to wake up others to what's going on so that they can pick up a Bible and they can find salvation through Christ. And that's what I'm trying to do here, is show them that Satanism is real, that reading Scripture is important, that salvation can only be obtained through Christ. And so many young teens out there have been deceived into, worshiping the things of this world, into following these musicians and entertainers. They don't believe in the devil. They're not sure about God because they're taught lies in school about evolution and all this nonsense. But this stuff is going on, and it's right out in the open. It's just a matter of, are people going to look for it? Are people going to believe it? Are people going to think that these, this is another trial, another case where there's two people or multiple people involved in satanic murder sacrifice, and nobody seems to think this is an epidemic that's going on or something that's serious. They think it's just, they're just having a good time. Why would they do it? If they didn't think it was going to work, if they weren't, worshiping Satan, they weren't seeing black magic results happen in front of their eyes. It's sick. It's scary. So I just want to raise awareness on those things. The Black Mass, again, occurred in Mexico yesterday. It's just more nonsense these freaks get away with, walking around in their druid robes that they probably got at Bed Bath & Beyond, holding up dead chickens, sacrificing goats and cats, drinking their blood. Absolutely embarrassing. These people need to be exposed and locked up for this behavior. This is barbaric, and it's a disgrace to humanity. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.